Good morning, happy Monday. It is 8:45 a.m. and I'm about to have my workday breakfast. I am back on Weight Watchers and trying my best to be tracking. This is like week one again. So I'm gonna do my best to include points when I make these little clips. I have a cup of tea with a splash of milk. I do not track the milk that I put in my tea, therefore I do not count it with my Weight Watcher points. I tend to not use my weeklies or even sometimes all of my daily points, so I use it as a little bit of a safety net to catch things like the milk in my tea so that I'm not sitting here measuring out tablespoons of milk. I just assume that as long as I don't eat all of my weeklies, and even like I said, some days I don't eat all of my daily points, that kind of covers the milk. So for my oatmeal, it is 4 Weight Watcher points. I have a half a cup of oats for 0 points, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter for 1 point, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar for 3 points. I wanted to put a banana on it, but there's still a little bit too green, so not able to today, but I'm hoping tomorrow, but honestly, by the look of them, probably not until Wednesday. So this will be my first Weight Watcher breakfast of the week. It's a little after 2:30 in the afternoon on Monday, and I'm gonna have a snack. I have a physio appointment at 4:45, so generally you'd be like, ooh, I have so much time. But we have been getting snow since before I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. And where I live, we get snow every year, but every time we get it, people freak out, they forget how to drive, it becomes a disaster. So I'm gonna need to give myself a lot of extra time to get there just in case. And in good weather, it takes 45 minutes. So I don't really have time to make like a hot anything except for say toast, and I think this will be better for me nutrient wise than 2 slices of toast, even though I love toast and do not mean to be dissing it because carbs are amazing. I do hope to have the energy when I get home from the appointment to make a hot dinner. I think after being out driving and all that, I'm going to really want one. So the apple is 0 points. My tea, I will put a splash of milk into it, and that is also 0 points. And then I have a Built Bar. It's the coconut kind, and this is 5 Weight Watcher points. So if I remember correctly from this morning, this is putting me at a running total so far of 8 points for the day. It is about 6:30 in the evening on Monday. I almost said Friday, wishful thinking. No, on Monday, and I'm about to have my dinner, so I'm home from physio. I have as sort of the main, I guess you could say, frozen bag of mixed veggies, just a whole bunch of mixed veggies cooked up, and I have 1 Pillars brand turkey sausage, one of the spicy versions, in there as well. I also put some Green Goddess seasoning on the vegetables. The vegetables themselves are 0. The turkey sausage is 1. If you have 2 of them, they become 3 points, which is why I only had 1. And then I have my final brioche bun. The bun itself is 5 points. I have a 2-egg omelet on the inside. The omelet is 0 points because eggs are 0 and I didn't add any milk to it. There is also a slice of cheese. It's kind of tucked inside the egg so you can't see it. That is 2 points. And I have a tiny bit of half-fat Hellmann's mayo and a very small amount of ketchup, so I am not counting them because it is such a tiny amount. And then I have a coleslaw salad. The coleslaw itself, like the veggie mix that makes up the coleslaw, is 0. I have 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese shredded for 1 point, and then it has the dressing that I explained previously that I cannot actually track. So I won't go into all the details about that. I put 2 tablespoons of it. Even though I can't track it, I'm measuring it out just to make sure I don't go all crazy with it and just put a ton of dressing on, because I love dressing and would happily put a ridiculous amount on. So I am trying to at least measure it out and be a little bit reserved with how much I'm using, even though I can't point it, just in case. I figure that counts for something. We're going to pretend that it does. So this is my Monday night dinner. In total, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. Yeah, in total 9 points. Good morning. It is 8:17 a.m. on Tuesday, and I'm about to have my workday breakfast. So a cup of tea with a splash of milk, 0 points. 1 banana on top of half a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So the banana is 0 points, the oats are 0 points, the brown sugar is 3, the peanut butter, well, the powdered peanut butter is 1. So my breakfast is a total of 4 points. It's about 2:45 on Tuesday, and I'm about to have some dinner. This is the first time I've heated up one of the batch cooked meals that I made for February, so I'm kind of excited, even though it's a really simple meal, just because it's the beginning of really seeing if this whole batch cooking idea is going to pan out for me or not. Now, it did pan out in the sense that it was super easy to get my dinner together today and was like minimal effort on my side, which is one of the perks of this system. Also, you know, saving money and having my food pre-pointed out for Weight Watchers. So I have a cup of tea that I will put some milk into in a minute, a slice of bread that I put some margarine on. I heated up a half a cup of the pulled barbecue chicken, and then a mixture of frozen veggies. I heated those up as well. I put some of the Green Goddess seasoning on them, and then on top of the whole bowl, because I couldn't really just direct it on top of one for some reason, I sprinkled some Parmesan cheese, but not the shredded Parmesan cheese that I had bought for like the cooking, this type, like grated. So this is my dinner. I do apologize, I forgot to sort of check the points before recording, so I'm going to put them up on the screen for what the points break down to in this meal. And that does mean also, I don't know off the top of my head how many I have left for the day, but hopefully enough for a snack later. Guess I'll find out once I plug it all in. It is 4:20 in the afternoon on Tuesday, and I'm about to have a snack. Popcorn, clearly, from the bowl, and a cup of tea with some milk in it, because of course. So I purchased this a little while ago, and yeah, I'm just kind of slowly making my way through. It is for one bag or satchel, whatever you want to call it. It is 3 Weight Watcher points, and that's quite a bit of popcorn for 3 points. Morning, it's a little after 8 a.m. on Wednesday, and I'm having a workday breakfast. I'm not feeling great, but it's not, I don't think it's concussion stuff necessarily. I had a really bad sleep, which is concussion stuff. But as I've been sitting and working, I'm like, my throat hurts a little bit, and my stomach's a little off. So I don't know if I've maybe I'm fighting off a bug, or if it's just because I'm extraordinarily tired because of how poorly I did not sleep last night. I don't know. We'll find out at the end of the workday when I can have a nap and see if I feel better after. For now, my Weight Watcher breakfast. I have a cup of tea with a splash of milk for 0 points. The same oatmeal that I had yesterday with the banana on top, so half a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar for a total of 4 points. And I opened up my new bottle of vitamins and actually remembered to take 2 of them. They are definitely less chewy, easy gummy than the last bottle, and a little bit firmer, which, I mean, it's fine. I have teeth, I can chew, but just kind of caught me a little bit off guard. It is 2:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday, and I'm eating early even for me. This whole meal prepping, batch cooking thing is great in terms of how fast this meal came together, but I think I may have to delay my start time for getting my dinners put together because it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Usually I'm eating more about 3:30. And also, I am extremely hungry today, so I got a whole bunch of food together, and now I feel I maybe did too much, but it's done now, so I'm committed. So we'll start off with coleslaw. This is the very last of the coleslaw that I had, that bag that I was worried I wouldn't eat before it went bad. So I'm very happy that I'm finishing it, even though I realized the dinner I'm going to have tomorrow, this would have been such a good pairing to go with that dinner. So I'm having a little bit of regret that I got it ready for today, but I've already put the dressing on, so if I were to pop it back in the fridge, it would get all soggy. So the coleslaw mixture of veggies itself is 0 points. The dressing, I did 2 tablespoons. As you already know from earlier in this video, I don't know how to calculate the points for that. And I have 2 tablespoons of shredded Parmesan cheese. I think I mistakenly said in a previous video where I did some cheese that it was 1 point, but I think it's actually 2. So sorry about that. Now, the sort of main course is this. It's a Weight Watcher recipe. It's called Crackslaw. It is a stupid name. It is a ground meat of your choice. So mine, I can't remember now if it's turkey or chicken. It's a bird. So the meat is 0 points. The point value for the meat will depend on what you pick. So that's completely up to you. And then there's coleslaw, a coleslaw mix in there, as well as jalapenos and a sauce made out of soy sauce and sugar and vinegar, and I can't remember what else off the top of my head. And I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the points value of this. It is a half a cup portion. I want to say it's 6 points, but I'll put it up on the screen. I have 2 pieces of toast for 5 points, and then I added 2 eggs. The green on the one is just some hot sauce. I added the eggs because I am so hungry. I think I am especially hungry today because 1, I underate my points by quite a bit yesterday, which is perfectly acceptable to do, and I didn't feel hungry at the time. But when I was going to bed, I was like, ooh, you know what I could eat? So it kind of started me off on a day of being hungry. And then also I slept horrifically, and whenever I don't sleep well, I am extra hungry the next day, and I'm usually craving carbs. So I'm craving carbs and sugar. My body is like wanting instant fuel, but I decided to bulk up the meal with 2 eggs for extra protein, keeping all my veggies. So I have veggies in there, I have veggies in there. This itself is also chock full of protein. And then I did add toast, which carbs, but I'm hungry and I have the points. So this is my dinner for tonight. I have a cup of tea steeping, and I'm really excited. This batch cooking thing, it seems to be working out for me, but I am going to try to remember tomorrow to start heating everything up and getting my dinner ready a little bit later, so I'm not eating quite so early. It is almost 9 in the morning on Thursday, and I'm about to have my breakfast. I'm a bit late today. I just wasn't hungry yet, and I was busy working, so I just thought I'd push it a little bit. I have a cup of tea with a splash of milk, the same oatmeal that I've been having throughout the week, so we don't need to go into details about it. Nothing has changed. Still 4 Weight Watcher points, still for the same reasons. I'm going to grab my multivitamins really quick, and just a nice simple workday breakfast. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, and I'm about to have some dinner. I kept it really simple this evening, well, late afternoon, I suppose, because I think I am definitely battling some kind of like a bug, and I'm not sick, I'm just laid low a little bit, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sort of low-key sore throat, low-key my ears are plugged, low-key my temperature's wonky, but I'm not sick. Like, nothing, no symptom or combination of is big enough to be like, I am officially sick. So I'm just sort of, I feel a little bit miserable, I suppose. And when I feel a little bit miserable, I want something comforting, and I chose soup. So I have measured out 1 cup of Campbell's Chunky Chicken Vegetable Pot Pie Soup. That's sort of up close. I know it's not impressive in the bowl. Here is the can. There's the ingredients. Sorry, the can's a little wet. I've already rinsed it out for recycling. There's the nutritional information. So 6 Weight Watcher points per 1 cup of this soup. And then I've also paired with it 2 pieces of toast. So it is making it a rather point heavy dinner considering the portion size. Like, I ate way more yesterday for way less points because my toast is 5 points. So math, 11 points for this. And I don't know if it'll fill me up or not. So I guess I will find out if it is a good use of my 11 points, or if I will be dipping into some weeklies maybe to be able to have a snack. I really don't know. We will find out together. It's about 8:45 in the evening on Thursday, and I'm about to have some hot chocolate. It's the Carnation brand. My mom bought me back when I was home in November these little like satchels. So for each little package, it's 3/4 of a cup of boiling water or milk, but I always make it with water. So it's about like this much hot chocolate, and it is 6 Weight Watcher points. So this means that for the first time all week, I've used exactly my number of points for the day, because I had two points worth of cheese earlier that I forgot to take a little video of. So 23 points. It is 8:20 in the morning on Friday, and I'm having my regular workday breakfast. So a cup of tea with a splash of milk, half a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and a banana on top. It is 3:50 to the afternoon on Friday, end of the work week, very excited. This is not my dinner, this is like a little tester thing that I'm doing. So I cooked in total 1 cup of rotini pasta for 7 Weight Watcher points. The majority of it is in a frying pan on the stove top, well, not stove, but like the burner. I'll show you in a minute. But I pulled out a little bit of the pasta to test it with a couple tablespoons of the Alfredo sauce that I made from scratch well, not quite a week ago, that I've had in the fridge that I was worried about. It isn't maintaining cohesion, and I was noticing that when I was making it, but I thought when I warmed it up and put it with some pasta, maybe magically it would be okay. I don't know why I thought that. So ignore sort of like what's along like the edge of the dish. That's just from where I scraped it in. But the sauce that's with the actual pasta, can you see how it's not like a sauce? It's kind of lumpy, and I don't know how to get it back to like a sauce consistency. It is in the fridge in a jar, and it is solid. Like, it's not a liquid, it is a solid. So I don't know what happened when I made it that I have done very, very wrong, but I broke the milk and the cheese, I think. So what I wanted to do was just try a tiny bit of it with anything really, so that I could know if it was worth freezing and using, or if I just really messed up and need to unfortunately throw it out. So this is my little sample to test it. And then over here is the actual dinner. So this is the rest of the pasta. So like I said, a cup of pasta and then some mixed vegetables. And I am trying out the butternut squash pasta sauce that I made for the batch cooking and that I froze. Now I froze it in half-cup portions, and then after I was done, I was like, that might not be enough. So I had pointed it out for using 1 cup of it at a time. But when I pulled it out and I was sort of thawing it, I was like, half a cup might be okay. So this is half a cup for 4 Weight Watcher points of butternut squash pasta sauce. And then the pasta in total with my little sample over there is 7 points. The veggies are 0. And that will be my dinner for this evening. Real quick follow-up for this actually. When I was moving it into the bowl, the sauce is really, really thick, and I forgot that when I made it, because I didn't make pasta when I actually made the sauce. I didn't do the part where you add some of like your pasta water into the sauce to thin it up. So the sauce itself that I made, the batch, very, very thick. It's basically just pureed butternut squash with some stuff in it. So I forgot about that and did not thin it out at all, and didn't save the pasta water because of course I didn't. So I'm gonna have to leave a note on the fridge or something for next time. So it is ridiculously thick, and don't get me wrong, I do really like a nice thick pasta sauce, but this is not a sauce at all. It's way too thick for that. I mean, I'm sure like it'll still be fine. I just wanted to let you know that if you decide to make this recipe and you do freeze it in portions, when you are like thawing it out and mixing it in with everything, save some of your pasta water to mix in with it, just to like thin it out a bit. It is 4 in the afternoon on Saturday, and I'm about to have this delicious looking pizza. I bought it from Safeway. They make it fresh in-house, and you never know what kinds they're gonna have available. And then you just need to pop it into the oven for like 8 minutes. It's not as brown, like the crust isn't as brown as it has been in the past. And I put it in the toaster oven for the same amount of time at the same temperature. So I'm not really sure why that happened, but the cheese is all melty and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine. It is a very, very thin crust pizza, and everybody I know eats it as like a single serving for 1 human. So I am going to be eating this entire thing, full disclosure. I also do not have Weight Watcher points for it, because when I was taking off the saran wrap from the packaging, I just completely blanked on it and threw it all away, and it's all crumpled in the garbage now, so I don't have the nutritional information for it. So I'm guessing really high. And then the next time I'm at Safeway, I will try to remember to look at one of them and take a picture of the nutritional information and then enter it into the Weight Watcher app. I will check the app to see if maybe somebody else has already put it in there, because you never know. I mean, I know like they're made at each location by the people on staff, so no 2 locations are going to have them be the exact same, but I mean, at least it might give me a rough estimate. Today is clearly a day of high pointed foods and not necessarily healthy ones, because I had that bun that I got from a cafe earlier today. I grabbed it on the go, they heated it up, it was lovely. It had artichoke and roasted tomatoes on it, and I ate it when I was at a meeting with my Dragon Boat team. And now pizza. So Saturdays, I think in general are going to be days of higher pointed food, and sort of maybe not the most careful of choices, or me paying as much attention to things like food groups, but I think that is absolutely fine. You work the program the way that you want to work it. If you never want to have a day like I'm going to be having on Saturdays, that is completely fine. But I just know when my friend gets back in country, Saturdays are our days that we go for brunch, which means I'm automatically, when she's back, going to be having kind of not easily pointable meals on Saturdays. So in my head, I had already sort of decided like I can't be super rigorous and nervous about the points on Saturdays, or I'm never going to enjoy brunch with my friend, and I want to enjoy brunch with my friend. And I know that she's not here right now, so I could have stayed fully on track and not gone the route of the pizza, but I just chose not to, and that is my choice. So I am going to enjoy this. I will cut it up to make it easier to eat, but I will also be eating the whole thing, and I will just continue on with the day. It is 3:15 in the afternoon on Sunday, and I'm about to have my first meal of the day. I would love to say that I was just so busy doing really industrious, important things that I forgot to eat, but no, I actually slept in, and then when I woke up, I stayed in bed because bed is the comfiest place, scrolling on TikTok and cuddling with the cat, and eventually had to get up. So I have done a couple things since getting up, including making food, and it was really hard to decide what I wanted to make because I waited way too long and I am ridiculously hungry, and so I wanted to eat everything, and I kept thinking of things I wanted to add to the meal because I'm so hungry, but I realized I just need to make kind of a normal meal, let it settle, and then see if I'm still hungry afterwards, and then have a snack, but like to calm down a little. So I have mixed vegetables with 2 of the spicy pillars turkey sausages that I cut up and put in the pan with them to heat up. I have a 2-egg omelet with cheese inside and Kewpie mayo on top, and I have 2 pieces of toast with marge and raspberry jam. Oh, and a cup of tea that I will add some milk to in a couple minutes. So for Weight Watcher points, we kind of have to deconstruct it a little bit. For the vegetable and sausage mix, the veggies are 0 points. The 2 sausages are 3 points. For my omelet, the eggs are 0 points. The seasoning are 0 points. The cheese is 2 points, and I don't track the Kewpie mayo. I tend to not track condiments, mostly because I don't eat all of my points in a day the majority of the time, and I generally don't tap into my weeklies either. So I just use the fact that I'm not eating all of my points to kind of cover things like little squirts of condiments and the milk in my tea, things like that. So I don't have the Kewpie mayo pointed out. My toast, the bread is 5 points, and then there's margarine and raspberry jam. I used more jam than I had intended to. I was only going to put it on one piece, and I sort of the spoon, I brought out more than I realized, and it was like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing it on both. So I will have to figure out the points for that just because it is quite a bit of jam, but I haven't done it yet. I don't use jam every time I make toast, and usually I put it on one piece and not both, so it falls under my whole I'm not tracking it as a condiment kind of idea, but I feel like I used a lot more of it than normal today, so I will scan the jar in a little bit after I have eaten and guesstimate my points for the jam. And then of course the tea. So that's like what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points for the meal. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon on Sunday, and I'm still feeling a little nibbly after my very late first meal of the day. I can't decide though if I'm actually legitimately hungry or if it's just me trying to trick myself into thinking that, well, I ate so late in the day, so I can eat more, or I can have a treat, or I can eat something that's higher points, and it's okay because I don't have that much of the day left, which is a mentality I have when I'm not on Weight Watchers and not really watching what I eat. If I eat late in the day, I totally go all gung-ho and have way more, or eat a bunch of treats or cookies later in the evening or something because I've convinced myself I can because I got a later start with eating. It's stupid. I know it's stupid, but it's just what I do. So I'm not 100% sure how hungry I actually am in this moment, and if it's real hunger or if it's me trying to trick myself and, you know, give myself permission to dive into the red bean specialty bun that I purchased. Now, having said that, I probably will eat that bun later in the day, but I wanted to have it more in the evening, not so much as a follow-up to my meal that I had earlier because I'm still hungry. So I decided to eat an apple. I have, it's all cut up, you can see it. I have a cup of tea that I'll put some milk with to go with it. It is 0 point snack. I like apples, they're filling, they're hydrating, they're all kinds of good things. So I'm choosing the apple over any type of like a treat or an indulgence or anything like that, because if it's true hunger, the apple will fix that. If it's just me trying to trick myself into eating something very high in points, well, I'll know once I've eaten the apple. It's 7 in the evening on Sunday, and I'm about to have this red bean bun from Superstore as my last snack, or I was gonna say meal of the day, but it is a snack. So my last snack of the day and also of the week. It is 13 Weight Watcher points, so it's quite high in points. I don't know if it's worth the points yet or not, because I don't recall ever having it before, so I will find out in about 15 minutes or so if I think it's worth the 13 points, and if yes, I may buy it again in the future. If not, then it'll just be something that I enjoyed once and won't do again. There's the nutritional information for you, and oh, there we go, ingredients. There, I'm gonna pair it with some water. I would love to have it with a cup of tea, but I don't have any decaf, and I'm trying to cut out caffeine from 6 p.m. onward, so I'm just gonna have it with some water and the bun, and then that will be it for my food for the week.